Mic check, testing one. Okay. Hello, welcome to the live stream today. Today, we're going to start off with the word. So I want to bring up First Timothy chapter 4, verse 13. And I have my son with me, so he'll be participating in the live today. We're actually going to be competing. He believes that he can beat me in the college football game. So we're gonna put that to the test and see how that works out. So uh First Timothy 4:13 says, "Until I come, devote yourself to the public reading of Scripture, to exhortation, to teaching. Do not do, well, verse 14, do not neglect the gift you have, which was given you prophecy by prophecy when the council of elders laid their hands on you. Practice these things, immerse yourself in them, so that all may see your progress. Keep a close watch on yourself and on the teaching. Persist in this, for by doing so, or so doing, you will help save both yourself and your hearers." So it talks about public reading of scripture. And Paul penned these words in 1 Timothy to guide the ministry of his young co-worker. So this is something that's still true today, that every Christian benefits from regular Bible reading, whether he or she is young in faith or seasoned in ministry. So I've always, heard and had this school of thought of regular Bible reading, and personal reflection, personal learning, but I never really tied public reading of scripture to scripture. And it's right there, clear as day in the Bible, right there in First Timothy chapter 4, verse 13. So I've never connected, because I would come on and I've have videos on my channel with Bible studies and Bible readings, and I've always had a something deep down in me to do those type of discussions and live sessions on YouTube, or whether it's YouTube, TikTok, wherever. I've always had an umption to do that, but I've never felt the purpose. What was the purpose behind it? Of course, there's getting the word out to people. Of course, there's just the normal thing of sharing the gospel, but I never really felt a scriptural or biblical backing behind the purpose of it. So when I came across this in First Timothy chapter 4, it kind of just locked that desire to do so. It kind of just like took the chain and lashed it on to purpose, and now purpose is just taking off. So we're going to jump into, in the back of this Bible in particular, this is just a English Standard Version by Crossway. Pretty plain, nice hardback. But in the back of it, there are some responsive readings. So this is designed for more of a congregation type, to lead a congregation in reading. So there's a passage for the leader that's kind of leading the discussion, and then there's the congregation is in bold, and it kind of is a back and forth. So I'm gonna go through the reading. I'm gonna go through these selections. We'll kind of discuss, and then after the reading of the selection, we'll kind of jump into some gaming, and we'll kind of get into the game, and I'm gonna teach young JJ here some stuff on the game, and then we'll kind of have a discussion over today's reading. So selection 1 begins in Genesis. So we're going to be covering, it's going to be pretty much covering creation, Genesis 1:1 through 28. Then you have 31, verse 2 and 3. So we'll kind of just read through the selection. Any questions, any comments as I'm reading, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll go from there. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. So I have my son here. He's about 6. So I can kind of break some of that down just to make sure you all understand it. And with a child in the room, if I can teach a child what this means, then it's breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. So when God says, "Let there be light," and then there was light, so God spoke and said, "Hey, let there be light," and boom, out of the darkness came light. Got it? And then God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. So, do you understand how that looks when you separate something? So we have these things are together. So He took them and He put light over here and separated darkness over here. So whenever you go into a dark room, it's dark, right? There's no light. And then when you turn the light on, does it take long for the light to come, or does it take is it slow, or is it quick? It's quick. So when the light come on, it's instant. The darkness has to leave. So darkness cannot overtake light, but light can overtake darkness. So have you ever seen a darkness switch? Can you turn on darkness? No. You can only drive out darkness with light, but darkness can't drive out light. You can't put a dark switch on and make light go away. Light makes darkness go away. So darkness responds to light. So God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Now that part of scripture I always found peculiar. That stuck out to me. It says, and there was evening and there was morning the first day. It always says evening first and then morning second. But our days in human in the modern time is morning and then evening. We put evening second. But right here in the very first book of the Bible in Genesis, it says evening then morning. And we talk about um when there's a newborn and you have a baby, right? And babies always are up during the night, evening, and they sleep during the day. And the saying is, oh, the baby got their days and their nights crossed. They got them mixed up. They cross, right? You ever heard that? Well, you ain't heard that, but out there, you ever heard that? You ever heard them say the baby got the days and nights mixed up or crossed? Well, I submit that the baby got it right because the baby fresh from the manufacturer. The baby is just fresh from God's creation. And I believe God creates us perfect in his will. Like he created his design the way it's supposed to be. Of course, when we're born, because of the fall of man, because of Adam and Eve, we are born in a fallen state. But God creates us as close to the manufacturer settings as he can get. So I believe the baby got it right for the most part. They naturally do certain things. They have a pre-programming that they already come built and equipped with. They already can breathe. They already, if they're nursing, they already can they know how to nurse. Um, Certain survival skills they already have. So I don't think the baby's crossed. I think we got it backwards. So evening and then morning, not the other way around. So, and God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. So earth pretty much was just water. Well, it was nothing but water. And God took and said, let there be a expanse. So let the waters above and the waters below, let there be an expansion. And God made the expanse and separated the waters, that there was an expanse from the waters that there were above the expanse, and it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. So when God created heaven, there was waters above and then there was waters below. And in the middle was the expanse. All right. So next, and God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let that dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together, he called seas. And God saw that it was good. So that's the third day. And God said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning the third day. So every day there was evening, then there was morning. So we see that pattern. We see that when God created vegetation and trees and fruit, that the seed of the fruit is inside of it and it produces after its own kind. So a strawberry seed produces strawberries. Banana seeds produce bananas. Apple seeds produce apples. Pineapple seeds produce Pineapples. Does a watermelon seed produce an apple? Nope. So every seed produces after its own kind. That's an important part that was placed in creation that later on in the Bible in other stories that ties back to understanding a lot of prophecies. Just understanding that seed produces after its own kind. So let's go on. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. So God had already created light, right? But now he's creating lights inside of the expanse, which is inside of the heavens. And he created one to rule the day, and he created one to rule the night. Let's continue. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. Let's continue. And God said, "Let the water swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." So God created the great sea creatures, and every living creature that moves with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creepy things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." And God saw that everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God finished his work that he had done. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. So that is the first selection on creation. And there's a lot of different schools of thought from science. You have theories of evolution. You have the Big Bang theory. You have all different ways that men try to explain how Earth was created. And they're going to say they're going to say different things. You're going to hear a lot of different things of how Earth was created. But, you know, biblically, we believe that God created all things, right? So, um, even science, and I believe science explains a lot. Well, science is the explanation of how God did things. And a lot of people think science is the reason when science is just the explanation. So that's today's reading. So now we're going to jump into the lobby and talk about just some next steps. So, uh, we're gonna jump in. You can load up. So today we're gonna be hopping into college football, and yeah, JJ thinks he can. So what do you think about the story of creation? What does that mean to you? Yeah. All right, we gonna jump in. On.
Entering menu narration pop-up. Do you want menu narration? No, turn it off.
it's letting just profile down. I just want to play a clear game and it's worried about it. The days of just loading up a game and just jumping in and playing. You gotta have profiles and you never had this problem. I think I was able to fool the system, so we good now. Now you can pick. All right. Let's jump into the game.
Conference rivals who don't like each other very much, and heightened intensity here because both teams come in ranked in the top 10. Welcome to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and LSU Death Valley, home of the Bayou Bengals. As we'll see the number 9 team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the 8th-ranked team, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Chris Fowler, joined as always by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get right to the action.
All right, so I'm LSU. I have my son playing against me.
Kickoff team has come on the field now to send
Alabama.
this one away. Bringing it out, it's Williams.
Mind you, Alabama's a pretty good
Not
team.
in a good field position to start here.
If the game rewards the
Alabama's
user.
offense comes onto the field for the first time today. The last time they played, of course, Alabama won comfortably. That was an embarrassing day for the LSU faithful. They have not forgotten it.
Chris, I don't think anybody's going to forget that loss because it was so surprising to see LSU get blown out. But they feel much better about this matchup.
Here we go.
Looking downfield, it's Simpson. On the run here. Let's it go.
Uh-oh.
It's
Interception. First play of the game. Let's go.
After a short return, but the pick ends that threat.
For the first play of the game, the defense comes up with a turnover. Good job of mixing
I don't know
up
if
the
you're ready,
coverage,
Chad.
showing one look going to
I
another.
don't know if he's
As they
ready.
confuse the quarterback, he puts it right into coverage, and they're able to capitalize.
Keeping it on the ground here. And he heads out of bounds after gaining a few yards. comes a crucial second down play. Every yard tough to find down here in the red zone. Takes the handoff. It's Durham. And they finally stop him at the 3. The offense really threatening now.
Hey, nice RPO here by the offense. Defense is going to sit back, make it easy on the quarterback, hand it off up the middle. Nice solid game. Stay ahead of the chains.
The offense knocking on the door here with a 1st and goal. Makes a quick catch.
Touchdown.
Tigers.
Let's get it. It's going to be a long game.
Well, Chris, as you know, in a rivalry game, there's so much emotion. So to be able to put a touchdown on the board first just sets the tone for a big day.
They'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. PAT is good, so it's 7-0. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. Fielded in the end zone. It's Williams. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. See if this quarterback can bounce back. The last possession, a pick in the very first play. Scanning the field. It's Simpson. He escapes the pocket. The pass ball is incomplete. He tried to extend the play. Incomplete. Nobody open. The game goes back to 1895, Kirk, but as you know, it's begun to pick up intensity, this rivalry, because they are always in each other's way in the SEC.
Yeah, this rivalry doesn't necessarily have the history, even though it does go back to 1895. But you're right, things seem to change when the SEC split east and west.
Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. We are live. LSU versus Alabama. 6-year-old versus
it's a game we all point to before the season
parent.
Gets rid of it on the move. Catch made on the left side.
And we're not taking it easy. We're not taking it easy.
So it's 4th down coming up.
He said he could. Said he could beat me. We're gonna put that to the test. We're putting it to the test.
Oh, it's a fake trying to run for
Oh, he faked it. I'm not paying attention. And he made it. I wasn't even paying attention. Wasn't even paying attention. He snuck that one on me.
A player like that is much harder than it looks, and to put it exactly where it needed to be, that was perfect.
Alabama getting set with a 1st and 10 coming up. They'll try a pass here. The receiver makes the catch.
Completed a
The
pass.
short passing game is a great
Completed
go-to
a
for the
pass.
offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable and allows you to see how
That might be the
defense
only
is
pass he
reacting.
complete.
That can open up for other things later on.
The shotgun running play call.
That back just had nowhere to go. Gotta give credit to the defense and
your
the run
direction
fits
is
on
that
play.
way.
Offense facing a 3rd and long from the 28. Gotta have your pass protection in order in this play. On the run here, lets it go. Off target and incomplete.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this 3rd down and long, but when you're so
Gonna do.
you really allow this defense to dictate things and allows them to put pressure on your quarterback and can affect the timing as we saw in this play.
And the returner brought down by the
Getting out of hand real quick.
And that Bayou Bengals offense is back out on the field. They punch it
Getting out of hand real quick.
time. Let's see if this defense has made some adjustments to stop them this time. Caught in the backfield. It's Anderson. And heads out of bounds after a decent gain.
This quarterback has a lot of different options, but I don't mind him getting this wide receiver involved so early in the game. Let him build up his confidence. He could have a monster day for you.
Getting set. Here's 2nd down. Looking to throw. It's Nussmeier. Brown down the middle. It's Brown.
Big time.
Game just good enough for a 1st down.
The defense does a nice job.
You guys enjoying the stream? Make sure you hit the tap. Hit the tap. Give us some, engagement. Share the live. Get the live out. Let's jump back in.
Offense keeps moving. It's a completion for a first down.
Let's hit this touchdown.
Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. Caught over the middle. It's Durham. They bring him down to the 16, but they move the football into the red zone. First down.
Defense kind of lost a running back here. Makes a nice catch and gets the first down in the process.
LSU has moved into the red zone.
So we for those just joining, we are 6-year-old meets challenges dad to a game of football. That is touchdown number 2. You can't see him, but he's over here just in disbelief that I scored again.
When he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads
What I try to tell him is video games did not get invented when you were born. They've been around for a little minute. My whole life. When I was your age. Yeah, he's in here. We're the originators. Our generation is the originators of the games.
Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown.
Hello.
And he fields it inside the 15. Not much on the return. They'll stop at the 24.
They didn't send me nothing directly, but somebody
Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. They were forced to
they saw it because they said they told them I was switching.
Get some points out of this possession. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. Slams right into a wall. They've got him for a loss. And they don't block the defensive end, who shows some quickness, Kurt, getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete
I'm on live right now
only
playing
can he
against
pressure the
Jeremiah.
And it's intercepted. Beautiful timing there. Not a long return, but the pick changes possession. The offense will take over at the 28.
Well, we're just here in this first half, and this defense is all over. That's their second interception. Good job of pressuring the quarterback, making him uncomfortable, and forcing the ball into coverage.
Excellent field position here for the offense.
But I'm gonna call you back. DJ, that's another interception.
Back to throw.
Not looking good for you.
Grab down the middle. It's Brown.
You know why?
The tackle is made.
Why is that?
Is now set up with a first and goal from the 8.
Oh, he said he knows why I'm beating him. It's because I've been practicing. But it's my practice. I guess my practice has paid off.
Separation to give the quarterback a nice lane to throw.
Getting out of hand.
This defense is reeling now. First down and goal. Grab behind the line. It's Anderson.
Woo.
Touchdown, LSU.
It's getting a little too easy over here.
Man, that's his second touchdown.
Getting a little too easy over here.
Winning every one-on-one matchup this defense provides. Great job by the quarterback putting the ball where his guy can make a play on it, and he's got
You roughing my kicker now? Roughing the kicker?
Kick is good, and the kicker got clobbered. Flags all over the field. Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course.
All right, let's see. Give you guys another shot at it.
Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. And this won't be returnable out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. And looking to throw now on first down. On the run here.
Another pick.
The QB throws his third pick of the day. Short return.
What's going on?
Chris, that's back-to-back drives now that this
Big,
offense is
you're throwing way, you're going that way, then you're throwing the ball back that way. So we picking it off every time.
To find a new way to attack because right now this isn't working.
Great spot to start this drive for the offense. Back to throw. It's Nussmeier. Caught over the middle. It's Brown. Tackled right after the catch, but they'll spot the ball down at the 15.
How about the offense here dialing up a good zone beater? Let's give credit to the coordinator for calling the right play at the right time and the receiver finding the hole in that zone.
LSU now operating in the red zone. Quarterback pulls the ball to the keeper. Picks up 3 yards, so 2nd and 7.
Oh, the defense is ready for that one. They almost got that blown up before it got started.
Coming to the line on 2nd down. This is important. They want to avoid a 3rd and long. Looks right for a quick completion.
Touchdown.
Still no answer for this offense.
Getting out of hand, Joe, man.
Well, they began with great field position, and that didn't take long at all, Kurt.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an opportunity. Your defense sets you up in great field position. You're not looking for a field goal. You're looking for a touchdown.
This is just the first quarter.
Being aggressive and punching it in.
Extra point makes it a
Just the first
28-sit
quarter.
lead. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. Fields it just outside the goal line. Will be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. Remember, the last possession ended quickly. An interception on the first play.
one to
Let's
take
see
it
if
with
they
them.
can do better here.
Your brother
Okay, the first play of the
challenged
drive
me
now coming
before
out from the
when he was
17-yard
younger,
line. Looking for some space.
and I had to show him. This was
This
on
one
Madden.
goes nowhere.
I had to
Lucky
show
getting back to
him.
the line of scrimmage.
Now you see this with a lot
I think
of
I
backs.
beat him
There's
by,
a
like,
tendency to
hit
want
the
to try to
pole.
bounce it to the outside.
Hit
Now
the pole.
sometimes the play calls for it, but you
Nothing
know the
too-
coaches
nothing
are
too
telling
major.
you to follow the blockers and execute the plan.
Ball handed off. And the offense going backwards.
But
in that play. Defense makes a
here
stop
lately,
to wrap up the first quarter.
he's been putting up the
LSU
wins.
on top as we take a break for the quarter. And as we reach the
All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna call it a game right there. We're not gonna go too much deeper into that. We're gonna swap over. Let's do a little couple Fortnite matches. We ain't gonna beat them too bad. We ain't gonna beat them too bad. We'll do duos. But in speaking with creation, you know, that was the foundation, you know, like we talked about, on how everything was made. So just keep that as a wait. Gotta go through this again. Hold on. You'll be able to I don't know why it's so yeah, just keep that in mind. It's the foundation of everything, you know. The story of creation. Just keep that at the center of your heart. And you know, people come in and you go to school and you learn different things. You'll learn that the earth was created from a big bang and there was an explosion and everything kind of expanded out. And it's okay to digest different viewpoints, but you know, for the test, you might have to put an answer that's in the textbook, but you know, you just putting that answer because that's the question on the test, and that might not necessarily be God's truth. So you want to keep that distinction. You know, there's stuff that is true and that we know God, what God says about it. And then there's stuff that we know what they want to hear on the test. So we got to put the answer that's in the book. But we know that that's just what the man in the book in the school wants us to put on the test. And the real answer is what God said. So let's jump back in. Get out and jump back in. You can free fall all the way down, so you want to action. It came out. Get over here. Like, how you got me? I could not find. We're back in the lobby. Wait, no, not. Okay. All right, we back. That's you with the. That's cleaned up the net. Pull it up. I'm not shooting. Why is my trigger not? Can't shoot. I can't shoot. Weird situation with the controller. Did not.
Let me get you patched up.
But I think we. Something is up with the, I don't know, sometimes it was weird. Well, that's all for today, folks. To hop on, little gaming session. Want to bring and then wanted to share the first installment of the the word there. So stay tuned for more. We'll be on the next live.